Oh, I've been trapped in a room for 14 years. It ain't so bad. I am so glad there is a new Saw revival coming out after the last Saw revival, which was after the final chapter. This finally gives me a chance to take a look at the 2004 horror classic Saw. Plus, this Spiral movie puts the Saw franchise in the Lethal Weapon 4 universe. Just kidding, it's always been part of the Lethal Weapon universe. And if a trap goes south, it's also in the Pure Luck universe. Saw came from a writing and directing team and a dream. Director James Wan and co-writer Leigh Whannel wanted to cut their teeth in writing and financing a film after film school, especially after they watched the Blair Witch Project and saw how it found its success in funding. What helped with the low-budget idea was the plot of having two men trapped together in a room, chained, and having to figure out how they got there. In an alternate universe, the script was sold to a different studio and became The Hangover. In order to help studios take interest, a short film was shot in which Whannel was trapped in the reverse bear trap. If studios didn't go for it, Plan B clearly would have been to submit it to America's Funniest Home Videos. The short took 2 days to shoot and got the attention of producer Greg Hoffman, who he and his partners would then form Twisted Pictures. Going with this producing team was Wan and Whannel's best shot of having creative control over the film. Producers believed in the project so much, they put up a second mortgage on their headquarters to get the film a $1 million budget. With a 5-day pre-production time and an 18-day shoot, the making of the film is an inspiring story of getting your low-budget film made and how to shoot with a lot of time constraints. And after the days of the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Streets, a low-budget horror hit spawning new sequels every year made a comeback in the 2000s. I would have referenced the Police Academy series along with Friday the 13th, but it was probably for the best they cut out the scene where Mahoney talked Harris into cutting off his own foot at the dinner table. Now let's see what indie horror is like without the Texas, without the chain, and without the massacre. It mainly involves waking up like everyone does after a big New Year's Eve celebration. Having seen the film, I can safely say, oops. Whannel himself plays Adam, who, let's say, has some concerns.
Shit, I'm probably dead.
You're not dead.
Who's that?
Oh, they're in the pit of despair, obviously. Carrie Elwes is Dr. Gordon. They're scared at first, but realize this could be worse. They could be in Scary Movie 4. This diabolical trap is set up by notorious killer Jigsaw. Don't believe me? Ask him yourself. I mean, he's right there. Sorry, I should have let the characters introduce themselves.
What's your name?
My name is very fucking confused.
You're gonna have to change that name for the TV edit. This shoot doesn't seem so bad, just hanging out in one room, and Tobin Bell really did lay down this whole time for his role as Jigsaw instead of using a dummy, which is commendable because there is a dummy on set. His scheme was highly dependent on not being a heavy snorer. And if the movie goes over budget, they could always sell kidneys.
They kidnap you and drug you. Before you know it, you're lying in a bathtub and your kidneys are on eBay.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. Nowadays, they're not gonna put that on eBay. They'd use Facebook Marketplace. It isn't the smell that's bothering them, but the clock on the wall. That's gonna make time go by much slower for them. Such torment! The tape will explain everything, but hopefully not give away sequel spoilers about Shawnee Smith and Costas Mandalore. Wouldn't it be something, though, if this key worked, making Jigsaw not a monster, just a colossal dickhead? Then Adam and Dr. Gordon could go on and make millions by selling the idea of escape rooms. One way to help build up tension amongst the actors is that the bathroom scenes were shot in chronological order, beginning with this, the first shot filmed for the movie. But that's all trivia. Back to the tape. You flush the key in the bathtub. Game over. Well, this was shorter than the short film. Oh, and kill Adam by 6 o'clock or your family is dead. I really am a dickhead. He also says follow your heart, which obviously means they're stuck inside the employee bathroom of a Love's truck stop. Someone will let them out by morning. The actors did have to be very careful with the saws, which were so delicate they could have broke if used too roughly, which makes it seem like Jigsaw himself ran the props department. Naturally, not all of this stays in the bathroom, as the movie has a lot of flashbacks and foreshadowing.
He doesn't want us to cut through our chains. He wants us to cut through our feet.
That's when he puts it together. He thinks Detective Danny Glover did this, having gotten the idea from Riggs back in his rookie Mad Max days. See, this is where they find Leo Getz, who got himself killed while trying to return a misordered tuna sandwich. Danny Glover makes his only series appearance in this film, which only took 2 days to shoot, but Dina Meyer, however, was in a few of the movies before she succumbed to Jigsaw's torture by him placing her in a Marigeddon. Jigsaw's method is finding ways for his victims to kill themselves while teaching them a valuable lesson about life. You know, like, don't end a sentence on a preposition, or I'll douse you with a flammable substance and the room will be set on fire if you can't get the safe combination. I don't know, if I locked you in a car, set it on fire, put the key close to the door, yet left the window cracked, and gave you a coat hanger, if you die, I killed you. Just ask people who know Jigsaw, like Michael Emerson as Zepp Herring.
The patient had...
His name is John. He's a very interesting person.
Oh, he says that about everyone named John. Even though Jigsaw is right there, they're still looking into Dr. Gordon as the killer. Look, you were the killer in Kiss the Girls, and you're married to Monica Potter from Along Came a Spider. We know that you know something. After all, his pen was found at a crime scene, and his alibi was he was having an affair. Woof, being chained in a dirty bathroom is a far less stressful predicament. When we come back, I don't know if this marriage is gonna work out or not.
Monsters do have their place. In the zoo, in your nightmares, in the deep, in your favorite horror movies, but not in your living room, on your TV. Don't let pay TV be the monster in your living room. Let your lawmakers know how you feel in the fight against pay TV and cable TV.
To get a better idea of how someone can get out of their trap, Shawnee Smith's Amanda comes in to reenact the short film that sold the movie. This trap was the only way to cure her evil ways from the stand. And if not, her face is gonna be torn apart and she'll be really creeped out. Hello? Seems easy enough. She's just gotta dig a key out of her cellmate, all while navigating through the 2000s horror movie edits. Plus, the person she has to kill is Orrin Coles, one of the film's producers. Ooh, what a game this is. I don't know who's a bigger dick, Jigsaw or the cops for saying, hey, can you relive this really traumatic event so we can mess with this suspect? Remember, Jigsaw just teaches people a lesson. Except for this guy, screw him, he's dead. Congratulations, you can collect your $20 Outback Steakhouse gift certificate on your way out. And then she led a long, happy life and was never seen in the series again. Okay, so it could be this Jigsaw killer that put them in there, but Adam is still holding out hope that they're really just in a reboot of Candid Camera. I mean, look, the camera is right there. The first film is definitely more of a mystery thriller than a torture porn, a term which would come later. The torture is heavily more prominent in the sequels, and what gets tortured the most in this movie is the studio logo. With this film, the backstory of Jigsaw didn't come until later in their writing process, when Leigh Whannel was worried that he had a brain tumor, and began wondering how someone would react to having such a short time to live, especially someone like John Kramer. Also, you'd have to have a lot of flashbacks, I'm sure.
I've been thinking about the last thing I said to my daughter.
Do you like bubbles? In hindsight, I should have picked one of my better movie lines, like, as you wish or something. The two finally get to know each other. He shows Adam pictures of his family and, oh dear lord, man, why did you take this picture? The police were right to suspect you. But really, they should be paying more attention to Michael Emerson. He's literally in a show called Person of Interest. He probably is kidnapping the family to make them better people. He knows Jesus personally. We can all remain calm, though, knowing Danny Glover is still on the case. It's interesting looking at the editing here. The film had such a strict shooting schedule, with a couple takes per actor, essentially shooting rehearsals, that they didn't have enough of the shots they wanted, so they filled in the gaps with newspaper clippings and changing some shots into surveillance-type footage. This grittiness became the series' signature look. Anyway, okay, Pussyface, it's your move. Ha, that's from Predator 2. You thought I was gonna say I'm too old for this shit, didn't you? If he's so obsessed with the case, he could ask the director about it. It was Wan that built the dummy himself. Or go to the location that would either be used for a movie serial killer or the ace comic relief hacker that our leads always know in spy thrillers. There's plenty of clues here. Jigsaw obviously has a child, and this is their diorama project. Check all the schools immediately for Diorama Rama. Or it could be someone getting ready for a horror convention. Who knows? Okay, fine, enough with the sarcasm. It's definitely Jigsaw's place. He's helping Ned Bellamy get over his war obsession at J. Peterman. And he really wants Murtaugh to retire. Remember, Jigsaw's not a killer. He just took a wild chance Glover would survive that. As for the other guy, well, he might not have found Jigsaw, but he found the collector. I enjoy that the movie is part Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and then at other times, part TV procedural. Because here it becomes NCIS for a few seconds. Also, let's not forget it's a bromance too.
Excuse me.
Just because I'm stuck in this room with you doesn't mean I have to report to you every 10 seconds.
Uh-oh, trouble in paradise. Look, we've been here for a while. Let's get some shut-eye. Wait a minute. The path to Richard's shield in the tomb of Sir Richard? Oh, never mind. It's a phone. Jigsaw knew they would get hungry and need to order a pizza. And yes, a cigarette. Now, it could be poison, but sometimes you just need a cigarette, and this is one of those occasions. Unfortunately, the phone can only receive more flashbacks. Wait, what the hell? It's aliens? Oh, wait, just a car. Or it could be a ghost. The Jigsaw doll does pop up in James Wan's ghost movies. I guess it's as good a time as any for Adam to finally tell him he has his family's picture from their trip to Showbiz Pizza. It was probably for the best they closed those down. They do come up with a plan, though, which is for Adam to pretend he's being poisoned with the cigarette. And the award for Kidnappee of the Year goes to... Oh no, no one's switching to menthol in this dungeon. And can you please keep the racket down? It's Adam's turn for a flashback now. This is where we find out that Adam is really paparazzi that was stalking Carrie Elwes at the Liar Liar premiere. That is, when those damn neighborhood kids aren't messing around in his apartment. If only Adam didn't die, he could have been around to say, just beat Annabelle with a bat. Until he was abducted by a pig. Since we're in the second half of the film, this is when so many mysteries get revealed.
Who is this?
Daddy?
My own daughter? You did this to me? God damn it! Oh, sorry, honey. I jumped the gun there.
Allie?
Is Adam there?
Awkward. Although, this is probably my favorite exchange in the whole movie.
I'll kill you! You hear me? You son of a bitch! I'll kill you!
Are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine. So now Adam can tell Dr. Gordon he was hired by Danny Glover to follow him around and take his picture. Making the lesson of the film that if you're chained in a room with another person, just be honest with each other. Fletcher learned this without as many dead bodies. Even Adam's camera knows this.
Face it, Larry, we're both bullshitters.
My camera doesn't know how to lie.
Well, that's why you need Photoshop. Too bad he didn't capture the conversation with his lover, where Dr. Gordon says, I think we should start meeting in gross abandoned bathrooms. It's just a thought I had. He can't elaborate on it, though, because phone cock block.
Hello?
I know what you're doing.
I Saw What You Did was copyrighted by another movie. I do really like these two together. I like their chemistry. I think they play well off of each other in the funnier scenes, and in the more intense sequences. There are some line deliveries where you can tell they only did a couple of takes, and Cary Elwes's accent slips a few times, while Leigh Whannel does a much better job with his accent. And I just really like lines like this.
I don't give a crap if you covered yourself in peanut butter and had a 15-hooker gangbang.
Huh, I never considered that. Interesting. It's about time they put it together that Zepp has something to do with it. God damn it, Michael Emerson, of course. I should have known this since the beginning. And now it's too late. Oh, that's a shame. But an explosion means it's time to cut to Lloyd's other show, that one about 911 Lone Star.
And now it's time for Lloyd's out-of-context 911 Lone Star clip of the week.
Your boat, what's it mean?
The boat is our escape plan in case of a zombie apocalypse.
God damn you, Jigsaw!
Now that we're back, haha, no one ever suspects the David Patrick Kelly of our time. By that I mean you should always suspect the David Patrick Kelly of our time. They're so close to defeating this guy, but god damn it, kid. Enough of this, now's my chance to finally make this killer go spit. As for Jigsaw, he's still being a dick. Jesus, these driving scenes are like if the driving scenes from Hellraiser Inferno took speed. Way to ruin the first good nap he's had in hours. Look, there might not be a lot of jokes here, people. This is still a very easy movie to get caught up in. Even when you know what's gonna happen, it's still suspenseful. Plus, it's where you get what you came to see, a man cutting off his own foot. It's too early in the series for Donnie Wahlberg to tell him, bro, just break your foot, bro. Or just cut off part of the heel. I'm sure that won't hurt. Plus, Raj finally retired. If you listen closely, you can hear Jigsaw say, Jesus, I didn't think he'd really do it. Or this. That's for making the room smell like smoke, ass. Oh, damn it, I just cut my damn foot off. It's such a good climax, you can tell the actors are absorbed in this scene. Lee really did accidentally punch Emerson. I guess that's better than if he accidentally caved his head in with a toilet lid. Now our heroes have to say goodbye, but don't you worry about him, Adam. He'll be back far too late into the series, and in a really stupid way. Oh, and just one more thing. Oh no, the tape is playing the ending twist music! It's that music from Charlie Clouser that kicks in during the Saw climaxes, which always features a twist to make people go, oh shit! It's a piece of music so great and iconic that it'll give me chills even in the lesser Saw sequels. As for the twist here, Zepp isn't the killer, but... Holy shit, it's Brian James! So when I saw this in the theater, I did have a passing thought of what if the dead body is the killer? And I had that pretty early on into the film, but by the time the ending came, I had kind of forgotten about that thought and was a little surprised. And it helps by how really well shot the reveal is. Oh, and as for that key...
Key to that chain is in the bathtub.
Oops.
Game over.
Oh, Adam will be back as a corpse. 17 years later, and Saw is still damn entertaining. The movie got mixed reviews upon release, with a lot of critics comparing it to 7. but it gained a hell of a profit, making a little over $100 million at the box office, with the sequel being greenlit on the film's opening weekend. The editing in the film can get a bit carried away sometimes, but it's a good lesson in what to work with on a small budget, and what you need to do in the editing room to creatively make up for some shots. I hate to call the movie preposterous, given how crazy some of the sequels got, but even then, they do try to explain everything that they're doing and all of the twists, even going so far as doubling back and answering questions the audience may have had about a previous film. It is nice going back and seeing how, for lack of a better word, innocent the first film was, compared to how extreme it would get. I do enjoy most of the sequels, but I like how the first one has a heavy emphasis on the setup and mystery more so than it does on the murder set pieces. It was such a hit with audiences that it gave us a new horror icon and a franchise so successful it set the standard for the look and edge of many mid-2000s horror films. Now that that's over, I probably should cut my own foot off. Not so I could escape this room, but just so I could feel something again.
This little piggy stayed at home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none.